Let's talk about toxic positivity, aka spiritual gaslighting. Toxic positivity is when somebody shames you for having a negative reaction or emotion when there's literal negative circumstances going on. Why I call it spiritual gaslighting is because it's failing to acknowledge or telling somebody that some negative emotion that they're experiencing or negative because of a negative event is a reaction to a negative traumatic event really doesn't exist. And if they just looked the other way and acted like it wasn't happening, then therefore it wouldn't exist. I remember when the pandemic was going on and I connected with a so-called light worker on Instagram. She claimed that she had no idea about the pandemic because she just decided to turn off the news. Therefore, the pandemic didn't exist. That is fucking ridiculous because, well, I don't know where to even start, but let's just begin here. So many people were affected by that in so many different ways by the pandemic. Some people died, some people were very ill, some people lost their jobs, and some children act as a teacher at that time, as a school teacher, some children didn't have childcare because their parents were out working at, grocery stores and whatnot, or first responders. So just because it's not personally affecting you doesn't mean it's not going on and affecting other people. When light workers hold people to this ridiculous standard of everything is love and light when things are going on that are definitely tragic world events that are personally affecting so many people, and empaths or people who are just truly loving, sensitive hearts feel the pain of their brothers and sisters that die of senseless violence. Gosh, like, are you really a spiritual person if you are denying people their valid reactions? The other thing I'm seeing right now, and it's not like we should be 100% in like the worst mood. I'm not calling for depression, but the other thing I'm seeing right now is people who are saying that they're spiritual are like dancing. They're doing dances like this is great because there's a new energy coming. That is not holding space for people who are actually going through a lot of bullshit right now, awful tragedies, or their family or friends are going through tragedies. This is the time to hold space for people. This is a somber time. There's a time and a place for everything. And dancing and saying this is a great new energy because Pluto is finally direct is insensitive at the best. You are completely out of touch with the collective if you think that dancing because Pluto is going direct and we're going through a shift right now is appropriate. Ecclesiastes, there's a verse about there's a time for, time to dance and a time to mourn. And this is definitely a time to mourn. This is a time to be sober. And yes, it's okay to celebrate your own personal things in your own personal life, but you don't have to put it online and, throw it in the face of people who are going through horrible, tragic times. I'm calling on everybody who is in the spiritual industry to definitely hold space for people right now and be especially sensitive because everyone is handling this differently. Everyone is dealing with this in their own way. And yes, there's going to be a time to celebrate again, but right now is not the time to show off that this energy is for the greater good right now because people are not going to be receptive to that. Let me know what you think in the comments, and of course, be respectful. I don't want to see any free Palestine or Ellie, whatever, and I don't want to see any pray for this and pray for that. All I want to see is unity consciousness in here because I don't want to have to deal with the sides in here. I know how I feel, but I'm not going to tell you. All I'm going to tell you is we all need to pray for everybody on the face of this planet right now. Is it's not just going to affect the Middle East.